Hello guys, welcome to my new YouTube channel, Chief Keef Brawl Stars. I am Chief Keef. Today we're going to be on my mini account, and for the first video of our channel, I want to start out with something I like to call OP Brawlers, and a very creative name. But we're going to start out with Dynamike on Groundhog Burrow. Now, the reason why I chose Dynamike on Groundhog Burrow is because he is extremely OP, and it's a bounty map, so it's kind of a different... It's obviously already a different bounty map because most brawlers that are OP on bounty maps are Piper, long-range brawlers such as Piper, Brock, Rico, Colt, you name it. But Dynamike is very good on Groundhog Burrow for these, if you look at the video, for the bushes and the walls that protect Dynamike from being attacked by the likes of Piper and Brock. Now, a few things I want to talk about is how to be very good with Dynamike, how to counter a very good Dynamike, especially on Groundhog Burrow, because that is the map of choice that I'm choosing. In this series, I want to not only focus on a brawler that is OP, but I want to focus on a map and a brawler composition that is OP. And another thing I want to say is I want to do this series mainly about low trophy games. This is obviously a very low trophy game. My Dynamike is very new. I think it has like 60 to 70 trophies on it. And the reason I want to do that is because at the higher brawler levels, all of these things I'm going to mention are already being executed. People already do these things. So I don't really need to tell people that are, doing okay against Dynamike how to counter Dynamike or how to succeed against a Dynamike. So the first thing I want to talk about is why I think, and this is more of an opinion, all of these are opinions, but this is more of a subjective thing than the others. And that is, why do I think that people are not very good at defending against Dynamike? Well, you could say that, nobody at this trophy range is good at defending any brawler. And that's true to an extent, but I think that there's a complete different frustration that comes with fighting a thrower. As you see this bull right here, just completely with me and completely probably was frustrated at my dodges and stuff like that. And I think the number one reason why I think new players aren't very good at going about attacking and going about how to defend or how to get back against the Dynamike is the fact that he can throw over walls, and that brawler that is being attacked cannot, and he cannot attack through walls. I think the main reason why these new players aren't very good at facing a Dynamike is because they have all of these game sense techniques, and they have all of this knowledge, but it's very new. They're starting to understand. I think people start to understand whenever they hit a brawler at maybe like 80 or 100 trophies. But I think even then, even until maybe 300 trophies, these players with these brawlers are very premature, and they haven't fully understood the game technique. And the game technique I want to talk about against Dynamike is pushing and aggression. Now, aggression is the number one killer of Dynamikes. Obviously, in Groundhog Burrow, it's also wall breaking, which is something I want to get into next. But right now I want to talk about aggression, and that is the time to push and how to dodge while pushing. I would like to call aggression against Dynamike controlled havoc. Because as you'll see in this video, or in the gameplay portion of the video, you will see a lot of brawlers are trying to push me as Dynamike. And that's actually a good thing to do. I think that pushing Dynamike is the number one thing that people should learn when they're first trying to understand how to counter Dynamike. The only problem I see with all of these people pushing me is that they are very linear with it. They're very predictable. I knew this Nita was going to go where he did, even though he does kill me. That's probably not the best example. But anyways, I knew that Nita was going to do certain things. I knew where it was going to travel. And that is the number one thing Dynamikes need to defend, or to kill you, basically. They need to know where you're going to move. Because it's not about where you are in that instance, it's about where you're going to be whenever that Dynamite is thrown. or whenever that Dynamike pops off. And that's what Dynamikes rely on to get kills. They rely on prediction. They rely on, where's this brawler going to be? Dynamike is not an auto-aim brawler. He used to be, but no longer is he. So I think that a lot of these new players are actually executing a very good strat, a very good technique, and that is pushing a Dynamike, because Dynamikes are less effective when the person that they're attacking is at closer range. Because simply they cannot point to shoot anymore, so it's harder to attack right at their feet. And also, it's very stressful seeing someone that has a lot more damage, a lot more flexibility as far as up close come at you when you're a Dynamike. So yes, this is a very good strategy, but I would urge them to be more controlled in their havoc. You should wreak havoc, but you should do it in a controlled manner. And you should try to dodge as soon as possible. And I understand that dodging is a tough thing to get down. It's like, oh, just dodge. Well, sure, that's very simple for me to say, but how do you dodge? And I would say, again, it's that prediction. Whenever some brawler is just going at you full-fledged, you know where that brawler is going to be a second later. He's going to be right behind you still. You throw right there, and that's 2,000 damage for a level 1 Dynamike. So try to be a little bit less predictable when you push. Try to go to the left a little bit and then go to the right. It's very hard for a Dynamike to predict you if you're unpredictable. Now the second thing you can do to counter Dynamike, as far as in Groundhog Burrow, because Groundhog Burrow is such a good map for Dynamike because of the walls, is break down those walls. Very simple. Now obviously you may not be able to break down every wall. There's a bunch of walls in the entirety of Groundhog Burrow, but you can break down these main walls, these center walls right here. If you break those down, that is to the benefit of you and to the detriment of the Dynamike. So as soon as you can break those walls, you do. This Brock does actually a really good job of that. But yeah, that's the second thing I would say to counter. And now onto the portion of why do I, or not why do I think, how can you become the best Dynamike that you can at a certain trophy level? What things should you start to get down pretty simple, pretty easily? Now, and then I'm going to talk about an advanced thing just for fun. But the number one thing I would say is prediction. Obviously, how do you get prediction? It's something that comes with you naturally, but it's also something you can kind of time out. You can kind of understand. You can understand that Crow, for example, or Mortis are very fast brawlers, and a lot of times you should probably stray away from them and let your teammates handle that. But if a Mortis is locked on you, or a Crow is locked on you, you need to understand that, one, you have to be a little bit controlled. You got to be a little bit more controlled. You can't be as aggressive against a Mortis or a Crow. But also, you have to know, okay, so this Mortis is going to dash towards me, right? You need to kind of understand how far that dash is and throw right where that dash is going to be. So that is more of an advanced trick, is to not only predict where he's going to be normally, but also predict where he's going to be when he attacks, and also predict when he's going to attack. Another little cool thing is when a tank is right in your face as a Dynamike, or he's getting close. You're getting cornered. You're going to have a problem against this tank. A very good thing to do is to actually switch. So it sounds crazy, but after they attack once, they're going to be out of an attack maybe, so you go right towards them. One, this disrupts their auto aim, and two, it gives you more time to throw Dynamite at their feet. So that's one really good trick that I found to be interesting. I found it really fun too. I found it really fun to have this big bull or this big Frank or this big Primo coming at me full-fledged, and then I do this. They expect me to run away, so they're okay with me running away because they know they're going to get me eventually. But then I come back around towards them and they're like, what? My auto aim is malfunctioning. What happened? It's very interesting to watch that happen. And it's actually a really advanced skill, because it's kind of hard mentally to just say, yeah, let's just intentionally die into this Shelly or this bull. But it's not always like that, and I want you guys to remember that. And I think that'll be it for today. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope that I was at least a little bit helpful, or maybe I wasn't helpful and you guys are going to laugh at me because my tips are bad. I'm not sure. But thank you guys so much for watching again. And if you like the video, please comment or subscribe or like the video. Put the thumbs up on there. If I did anything wrong, if I left anything out, there's a lot more mechanics to Dynamike that I didn't cover. But for the sake of, short content in a short amount of time, I wanted to keep it to at least 11 minutes or at most 11 minutes. And I'm about to hit that limit now. But if there's anything else I could have added pretty easily, or if there's any critiques on any part of this video, please let me know in the comments. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow.